Hello beautiful soulmates, what's up and welcome. So in this video I get to share with us on how I made this beautiful kaftan dress with this sparkling shining beautiful Aso Oke that I used. It's your girl Ua Apparel. Kindly hit the subscribe button and let's get started. So for the making of my beautiful kaftan dress, I used 3 yards of African print fabric. So if you have a bigger size, you would need about 3.5 or 4 yards of fabric. So to start with, I had already cut out the fabric for both the front and the back, and you can see my zipper allowance for the back fabric. So at the very top there, I'm taking my neck line measurement for the back, and it is 4 inches into 2 inches of depth. Okay, and then I went ahead to draft my curve, connecting both points together. Okay, so next to it I'll be taking my shoulder slope measurement, and then also that length will also determine the size of my sleeve. Okay, so from the shoulder slope there I went down by 11 inches to determine my bust point, and next to it will be my waist point of 17 inches, and after that my hip point, which is 26 inches. It's actually 25, but I added an extra 1 inch to it. So I'll be connecting all the points using my straight rule. So next to that, I'm going to be taking my sleeve width, which is 8 inches. I'll make a point there now, and I'll be using my straight rule to connect that point back to the shoulder slope. So that is going to be how wide my sleeve is going to be. So on my bust line, I am taking my bust measurement of 10 inches plus extra 2-inch seam allowance. So I would also be taking my waist measurement as well, which is 8 inches plus extra 2-inch seam allowance. And then on my hip line, I'll be taking my hip measurement of 10 inches, and then I added extra 3 inches allowance to it. And thereafter, I'll go ahead now to connect my waist point back to my sleeve, and also from my waist point I'll be using my ruler or my curve rule to connect to the hip point. Okay, so next to that I'll be taking a straight rule from the hip point all the way to the hem line of the dress, or the border line, which is the full length of this dress. Okay, so after doing this, I'll go ahead now to cut out my pattern. So please ensure to add extra 1-inch allowance on the side should you feel that the fabric needs more allowance. So I added an extra 1-inch allowance on my side while cutting. So this is what it looks like after I was done cutting. So next I'm going to be determining the front neckline pattern, which is a V neckline. So you can see I've already drafted it out now, and I'll go ahead to cut it out, as you can see. So this is what the front pattern is looking like. So on the V neckline pattern, I used my bias fabric to pipe the neck before I will be attaching my Aso Oke to it. So first and foremost, from the depth of the V neckline, I'm taking a straight rule measurement, so ensure to do that. And as you can see, I've placed my Aso Oke on it, and you can see what I'm doing now. I'm simply folding it inward towards the straight line that I had ruled, and then I'm holding it in place using my pin. So after I was done placing my Aso Oke on one side, I went ahead to cut it out. Please take note that this particular Aso Oke loses easily, so you can use your candle to melt around the edges after cutting, okay, before stitching on it so it doesn't lose. So I'll go ahead to repeat the same process for the other side as you're seeing me do right now. It is very easy and beginner friendly. It is something a beginner can do. Okay, so after doing it, you can see me trimming it out there, and then I'll be running my stitches as you're seeing me indicating with my finger. So after I was done, this is what it is now looking like. Okay, so on the shoulder there, I also bent the Aso Oke inward and stitched on top of the actual fabric. Please ensure to do that because it will be piercing you when you wear it. So I'll go ahead now to place the back fabric on top of the front, and then first I'll be stitching on the shoulders. So after stitching on the shoulder, which I would be indicating with my fingers right now, I would also go ahead to attach my Aso Oke on the sleeve. So you can see my Aso Oke neatly cut out. So around the edges, I use a stretchy purple material that is also shining to cover around the edges so it doesn't lose. So ensure to do that. So after attaching my Aso Oke sleeve, I'll be closing my kaftan dress on this side. But before I do that, ensure to always take the body measurement again so you know the exact allowance to leave on this side. So basically that is all for the making of this outfit. I stitched it on the side and then around the border area at the bottom, and I went ahead to also attach my zipper. That will be all for today's tutorial video. I'll be seeing us on the next one. Until then, bye.